And we can start. So I will explain about TNT and introduce myself. So my name is Yasmin. I'm 20 years old. I live in São Paulo and I am an English teacher, but I'm not here to teach. I'm here just to guide the conversation. And TNT is a platform where you can practice English, Spanish, French, Italian, and other languages. And it's a safe place to practice. We are not here to judge you. We are here to help you. So let me share the questions with you and we can start. Can you see the questions on the chat?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so who wants to start introducing yourself?
I can start.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm Bruna, I'm 26, I live in São Paulo with my parents and my brother. I also work as an English teacher and I've been attending TNT meetings since the beginning of September. I think that's it. What about you, Ulysses?
I'm Ulisses Ferreira. I'm living in Ribeirão Preto, São Paulo, and 38 years. And I started in TNT 2 months ago, probably. That's it. And you, Epaminondas?
Good morning. My name is Epaminondas. I'm living in Brasilia, and I am a personal training. And it's my first time here. I want to practice my speaking. I have studied for a while, but I am studying by myself, so I don't speak very often. So I have a little, it's a little hard to me, but I'm here to learn. And about you, how about you, Jefferson?
Hello guys, I'm Jefferson. I live in Goiânia, Goiás. I'm economist and professor for Catholic University of Goiás. And I'm in TNT for 5 months and I'm enjoying a lot. Priscilla, can be you, the next one.
Yeah, let's go. Hello guys, I'm Priscilla. I live in Goiânia as well. I'm a project manager in a company of IT. I am 28 years old. That's it. I'm learning a lot here. I'm enjoying a lot as well.
What about you, Mariana?
Hi guys, good morning. My name is Mariana. I'm 23 years old. I live in Ilhéus, Bahia, and I'm a student. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so let's start. The first question is, do you like to read? If yes, what is the importance of reading to you? I need to confess that reading is something really hard for me, but when you are a teacher, you need to read even if you don't like. So I'm working on it. I'm trying to make this an habit, and I know that is so important for like acquire vocabulary and things like this. What about you, Bruna?
Yeah, I think I'm just like you. It isn't a habit yet, but I've been trying, I like sometimes it's hard because I just don't want to do it. And I feel, I feel like I'm like addicted to my cell phone. And sometimes it's hard to stop using the cell phone to read, but I'm trying. It's hard, but yeah, as you said, since we are teachers, we always need to read things, and I think it's important, you know. I do. Oh, I'm sorry. Although I don't like it, it's something I need to do. What about you, Epaminondas?
So I really like to read. It's there are a book everywhere in my room, and I read a lot. And I'm reading some books in English. It's my first time. It's my it's the first thing that I'm doing now. So it's easier to read than watch something like TV show or another things. It is very important to me. And you, Ulysses?
Yes, I love read. I really love read. I spend a lot of time, and so to you, I have some books. All the house have books here, and all day I start my day reading international news, Brazilian news. I think it's so important, but I know that some people don't have time to read a lot. But nowadays there are some other ways to look information. So, but I like. And you, Mariana?
I really love to read. I think that I can say that I have the habit because my mom is a teacher. So since I was a kid, she introduced to me a lot of books. So I don't know, I'm always reading and I really love it. But I also think some days I read more than others. And I think even if I consider as a habit to me, I need to, if someday I don't really want, I read, because I think we need to be always reading to don't stop to read, or I don't know. And yeah, that's it. It's really important to me, and I read a lot. What about you, Jefferson?
Yes, I read all the time. I was reading now. Valor Econômico. I finished to read now about the news, the economics. And all the time I'm reading by internet, like newspaper and magazines and books, and a lot of books. I have 2,000 books here, and I used to buy a lot. This weekend I bought a lot of books by Kindle. Now I'm trying to read by Kindle. It's not easy, but I'm trying to change the way of reading. For me, this is very important because the reading for me is to open the world of new knowledge, because I knew new knowledge. I love to know about the things. And I'm reading about a lot of things: economics, philosophy, history, and music. That's it.
What about you, Priscilla?
I like to read. It's very important for me. I have on Kindle. I read everyday news in the newspaper, newspaper of project, newspaper of technology. I like so much this. That's it.
Okay, so go to the second question. What is your favorite book Tell us more about it. What was the most interesting thing you learned from the book? So I will start, and my favorite book is Impostor Syndrome. And I learned how capable I am, how I can do everything that I want. I just need to believe in myself. And what about you, Mariana?
It's a hard thing to me. Choose my favorite, the favorite. I don't know, book, music, move. Oh my god, it's really difficult. But I was reading a book that I love. It's not my favorite, but I can choose a favorite, and I'm trying to translate the name. Is I forget the name, but it's a book. It's a bell hooks book. Do you know bell hooks? I really love the books. Her. What about children?
I've said it before here, but my favorite book's called Depois daquela viagem. I don't know if there's a name in English. It's a book about a girl who went on a trip with her family. Then she met a guy, and she got infected with IGs, and it was really interesting because I read this book when I was like 14 or 15, and I always think of it as my favorite because it talks about SADs, and it's about her story and the way she could learn from the experience she had, and going to a different country and getting infected with IGs in the 90s. It was something too new, so it really marked me. It's amazing. That's it. What about you, Jefferson? What is your favorite book?
1,000 of books. 1,000. I don't have the favorite books because I need to read all the time. I'm reading now 4 books, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books to write an article. So I need to read all the time. But I used to read everything that is important for me because I need to read and to write an article, because as a professor, I need to publish. If I don't publish, I die. The professor must to publish article, so I will die. So I have no favorite book. I don't like this kind of favorite book because sometimes that year you have a favorite book. For example, I read this year a book about Churchill, book about Bill Clinton, and a lot of other economists like Friedman and other economists. So for me, it's very important, but I can select what's the favorite because every month is different for me. For me, it's a different situation. So I can indicate what's my favorite book. I love all of them. And you, Epaminondas?
So I understand you, Jefferson. It's so hard to choose one book, but I'm reading 4 books right now. But I read one book that so very important to me. It's called The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind, O Menino que Descobriu o Vento. And it's a very good book, and this book shows the importance to believe in yourself and to be brave, and the importance of the students. So I don't know, but I think that it's my favorite book for now. And let me see. Priscila? Priscila já falou?
No, let's go.
What about
I'm
you?
here. Okay. My favorite book is all books of the Harry Potter. I like so much. The films as well. So because all stories about his magic, I like so much this topic. How about you, Ulysses?
I don't have one book, but I'm reading two amazing books nowadays. It's Sapiens. It's a philosophy about the human development. Do you know Jefferson? You?
Harari. They have three books.
Yeah.
Homo Deus, Lesson from the 20th Century.
Yeah, amazing book. And the second, it's why the zebra don't get ulcers. It's amazing book too, because it's one way to live the life and less stress, more free. It's another point about the life. It's two good books. And Wesley, I don't know if Wesley talked yet.
I think he's not here anymore.
No more? Okay.
No. Okay, so we can go to the next. What is your favorite time of the day for reading? Sometimes I like to read before go to sleep, and sometimes like after the lunch. So what about you?
I like to read in the morning, so I think that my battery is full, but I read all day, and after the lunch and before to go to my bed, but my favorite time is in the morning. And you, Jefferson?
Sure, in the morning, really. To wake up, go to the gym, and to read a lot until the lunch. After lunch, to rest 20 minutes, and go ahead. And at night, to teach. That's my life. So my favorite time of reading, it's really, I'm more productive in the morning. It's so nice for me in the morning. And you, Bruna Carreta.
I'd say usually before going to bed. So at night, because I feel I am really productive in the morning, but I usually work. I use this time in the morning to work. In the afternoon, I am at school, so I don't have much time to read there. So at night, I'm just like resting and reading too. What about you, Mari?
For me, that's depend. If it's a book, physical, it's at the night too. But during the day, I used to read more articles, in the computer or something like that, for studying. But I really love to read before or after I drink a cup of coffee. I really like to drink a cup of coffee and start to read. What about you, Priscilla?
My favorite time is absolutely in the morning. I'm more productive. I think it's better for me. Sometimes I read before sleepy, but my favorite times absolutely is in the morning. How about you, Yasmin? Não. Já, acho que todo mundo já foi, né? Mariana. Yeah. Next question.
No, me?
Ulysses, yeah.
Okay, Ulysses, sorry.
Oh, no problem. Oh, but me too. I prefer in the morning because I can think about the book during the day, and sometimes I like to read again at night because sometimes I have some doubts, and at night I'm read again. Skip the next.
Okay, so the next is, what is the longest book you have ever read, and how long did it take you to read it? I'm trying to read a book that calls Women That Runs with Wolves, but it's so difficult to read this. I like sometimes you need to stop and think about something that the author said. So it's been very difficult for me. I think I've been reading like for 2 or 3 months and I didn't finish. So what about you, Priscilla?
My longest book is was Pame Bock. The book is of more important for projects. I read sometimes in the MBA, sometimes in the work, sometimes in the house. So it's my longest book I reading. How about you, Mariana?
I think the longest book was some laws book, but I have the same book as Yasmin, and actually I'm reading the same book for 2 years, but I have a theory about this book that we need to stop and after read the next chapter, because it's really, like Yasmin said, we need to stop and start to think. So I think it's a type of book that I just wake up one day and I think, today I'm feeling that I need to read this book, then I return. It's something like that for me. And what about you, Jefferson?
For me, it's the Capital from Karl Marx. 4 volume. It's terrible. It's long, 3,000 pages, and I read for 15 years. Just at the beginning of the course. Every time I need to read something about them. So for me, it's a very interesting book because he was wrote 200,000 years ago and have something very special for today and something not special for today. You see the reality, how the realities change. So for me, this is a very important book. And I have a lot of, I'm looking now here behind me. I have 3 books of at least 1,000 pages. It's long about history, about economic history for me, and philosophy. For me, this is very important. So I don't know what the time. I'm not worried about the time. I think the most important thing, you read and understand the book, the comprehension about the book, about the message. It's very important for you to change the reality of you, the reality of the country, the reality of everything. And you, Ulysses, maybe you, it's your turn.
Oh. Yeah, I don't remember the longest, but a hard book for me, it's Bone of Ox history. I have started this book 4 times yet, and I have never finished this book. Probably this week I will start again, but I don't know. It's one book that don't uh, I don't know. It's a book I can't finish. And you, Fernando?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember, but I really don't know. So I remember one book that I took so much time to finish, and Persuasion by Robert Cialdini. So I and started and stopped. So I was reading and applying, but I think that it took me 1 year, I think. But it's a good book. It's a really good book. I really like it. I think it's the book. And Priscilla?
Oi, eu já respondi.
Ah, okay.
It's me, I think.
Okay. Okay.
So I couldn't think of any book. There is one that I still have here and I haven't finished it yet. It's called A Estrela Mais Brilhante do Céu, and I don't know. I just couldn't continue. I don't know, but it was really really big. I don't know, around. I don't know if it's 1,000 pages, but something like that. And yeah, I just couldn't finish it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, book. I'm sorry, author. That's it.
So the next question is, what books have you recommended for other people? So I always recommend my favorite book, that is Impostor Syndrome. And I like Percy Jackson too. What about you, Ulysses?
I always recommend the book name is the Philosopher and the Horse. It's the history when Aristotle teach Alexander the Big. It's a nice book. And you, Jefferson. Jefferson is a professor. He always recommends good books.
I follow what you suggested before for Yuval Noah Harari. It's a very important person. The 3 books, I think, is the best book of the century, by Homo sapiens. It's really nice book. You need to read Homo sapiens. You need to read Homo Deus. It's nice, excellent. And the last one, the 20 Lections of the 21st Century, I think is the best of him. You must read these 3 books to be up to date about the knowledge, about history, about philosophy, about human life, about the future, about technology. For me, it's the best books now to read. I recommend these 3 books. Begin with them. That's a good begin. And you, Priscilla? Did you answer, Priscilla?
Yeah, let's go. They recommend of okay. So I think the better book of the recommend is O Poder do Hábito. It's a good book for other people's because about of organization, time, future, enfim. That's it. How about you, Mariana.
Okay. I will recommend the book that I was trying to say in the second question is Teaching to Transgress Education as the Practice of Freedom. But there are also another book that I think it's really good to people read. It's about nonviolent communication. And that's don't depend of the I don't know area, because I think everyone needs to learn to have to know how have a non-violent communication. So I think it's good. And what about you, Paminondas?
So I already started to read this book, but I need to finish it. And I recommend The Boy Who Harnessed the Wind. It's a very good book. And let me see, Mindset, it's a good book. Atomic Habits, it's a very good book too. And maybe A Coragem de Ser Imperfeito, it's a very good book. And I'm here because this book too, and it's so good. I recommend this book. And Bruna, did you answer this question?
Not yet, but you said many good books too. Actually, recommended many good books. I think I would say We Should All Be Feminists by Shimamanda. And yeah, mainly for women, you know, I think this one is really important. That's it. I think everyone answered, right?
Okay, so how important is the cover of the book? It's the first thing that I see, and I just buy books because of the cover, I need to admit. So I didn't want to know what it's about. I just buy if the cover is good. So what about you, Jefferson?
What's the cover? The cover it depends of the cover. It depends on the cover. But for me, it's the most important thing is the message of the book, not the cover. Not the cover. I really understand the cover in this sentence. Cover may be a capa and maybe the continent. I didn't understand this question. But for me, about capa, cover capa in Portuguese, I'm not merry about this because for me, this is an advertisement. You can put a very good cover and go there and buy the cover and buy the book. Oh, it's a nice cover. Okay, I buy this book. But about the cover, about the content, for me, it's very important because I use before to read the resume, something about the book, about the author, the author or the authors to buy the book and not just about the cover. And you, Bruna Carreta.
Yeah, I think I'm just like you. Nowadays that I have Kindle, I like with Kindle we cannot see the cover that much as if we had like physical book. So I don't care a lot about it. I also don't have a lot of space here in my house, so Kindle is much better because I don't have to store anything. So yeah, nowadays it doesn't matter anymore. What about you, Liz?
The cover is important, but for me, the people recommendation is more important. Okay. I always search for recommendations to read books. So today I write many recommendations for you guys. And you, Epaminondas.
I agree with you, and the cover can attract it, but sometimes you bought one book for the cover and you don't like the contents. And when I buy a book, it's more important to recommendation and the resume, the history, but the cover is not, it's not important. So it's important to attract it, but the most important thing is the content, and that's it. And let me see, Mariana.
Yeah. For me, the content is the most important thing too. Actually, I have a list of books, so I already know the next books that I will read, I will buy. And the content is the most important to me. But even if the content is the most important, when I buy a book and I really like the cover, it's a different experience, you know. You can experience all the things, the cover, the content, but the content is the most important to me. And Priscilla has already answered.
Yeah, let's go. The cover, the book is important for me. I think it's attractive, but the content, the resume, it's better as well. I think it's important, but the content is very important for me as well. That's it. How about you, Epaminondas?
I already answered this question.
I think everyone answered right. Okay, so let's go to the next. Do you watch the movie that came from a book? Yeah, and I really don't like the experience. I started to read Harry Potter and I just stopped it and watched the movie. I hate because I imagine the characters in other way, you know, like, and when I watch the movie, it's so different. And this happened with for all the boys I've loved too, because I watched the movie first and then I read the book. So it makes me feel so confused about the history. And what about you, Mariana?
I used to do that. I used to read a book and watch the movie. Yeah, I didn't like the experience too, because every movie is different, because the director, I don't know, the person who made the movie will do that based on her interpretation or imagination about the characters and everything. So yeah, I like more to read, because it's better when I read and it's my imagination. Everything, you know. Yeah, that's it. What about you, Bruna?
I was trying to think here, but I think I usually watch the movie before reading the book. But there is a series actually called The Vampire Diaries. When I was younger, I used to love the show, and when I read the book, it was like, oh my god, that's completely different. They changed everything, and it was interesting. Just like you said, it's about the not only about the director's point of view, like, but about selling, right? The authors, the directors, and the producers, they want to sell the series or the movie, so they do it in a way that the public will enjoy. So sometimes they don't even matter about the things that are written on the book. So it's kind of sad. Yeah, I think that's it. What about you, Jefferson?
I was forced to read the book. For me, it's very important. I read the book about stock exchange, like Wall Street, Aposta, Bolsa de Valores. It's a very interesting book. And then I watched the film. The book is better because we have a lot of details, a lot of passage you can comprehend without read the book. So sometimes it's terrible because you need to take a book of 5,000, 100, I don't know how many pages, and put just in 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. So sometimes it's terrible. But I like to do this thing at the same time. First, for me, the most important thing is to read the book and then to watch the film. I have a lot of examples here at my home. I have a lot of examples of this. And I love to see the image is very interesting. You see somebody like a Grande Aposta. It's very interesting about a Grande Aposta. When I saw somebody leading with stock speculation, with money, it's nice. It's very nice. So it's more amazing. It's more grateful. It's more, you feel happy to have read the book. Have read the book. And who's the next one? Maybe Priscilla or Mariana?
Priscilla, let's go.
Who is the shot? Who is the shot?
Let's go. I agree with you, Jefferson. I think it's very important to read the book, you watch the movie after. Sometimes I go watching the movie, but I know the book, the reading the book, I think it's terrible because I don't know the history. But for example, I read all books of Harry Potter. I like so much because I like so much magic. So the films, the movies is so, but I like I like as well. How about you, Mariana? I think you already know answer.
I already answered.
Okay, sorry.
Ulysses.
Oh, sorry. I use it to watch movie first, after to read the book. I don't have problem with this, and I like because sometimes I can see the director view and to compare with my view, and sometimes I can see details that I don't see at the book, but the director could show me in the movie. I don't have problem with this, but I like to compare the book with the movie. I don't know if I'm honest.
Yeah, okay,
Oscar?
let's go. And to tell you the truth, I had never had this experience, and it's so hard for me to watch any movie, but I don't know. Normally, this book is more complete, than the movie. So for me, I had never had this experience. Yasmin?
So Bruna, have you answered?
I think so. It's about the book, right? I don't know if I skipped. Sorry. The import.
The movie that came from a book.
Yeah, I have answered already. Sorry.
Okay, so let's go to the next. What books would you bring if you were stuck on an island, and why? Oh, it's a hard question, and I think I will not like to read books about like fantasy books because I know that always talk about islands. So if I were in an island, I don't want to read books about islands. But I think books about like empowerment, I don't know, the books that helps me to save myself. So what about you, Epaminondas?
I don't know. I think that Sapiens or Homo Deus, because I always say that I haven't time to read, and if I stuck on Iceland, I will have time. So I I bring these books, Sapiens and Homo Deus. And you, Ulysses?
Yes, good point. I only bring with me Bonovox instead because I will have time to finish this book because it's first time I start. And you, Priscilla?
I don't know. It's a hard question. I think so. Maybe O Poder do Hábito. I think it's important for mindset. That's it. How about you, Mariana?
Yes. And I think some book to learn the things I will need to do, like how to make fire.
Oh,
Things
yeah.
like that. Because I don't know how to do anything of that, and I think in an island I will need to. So a book about that learn this type of things will be a good book. And how about you, Jefferson?
No book at all. No book at all. I just want to rest, to talk with the animals, to talk with people, to see the water, about the vegetable, everything. Never, never. Stuck in an island, never read, never. Because I need to rest. I used to read a lot. Why I go to an island and begin to read? Never, never. Just to rest and to feel the nature. It's very important for me.
So everyone answered? I think Ulysses not.
And I have an answer too.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So I will go for I will agree with Jefferson, and I think it was Mari who said about the guidebook. I would choose these two versions, maybe a guide just to help me do the things that I don't know how to do. And also maybe a relaxing book like a love story, something that wouldn't make me think a lot, just to enjoy, the reading. What about you, Ulysses?
I will answer it, yes. But I probably I will bring with me how can I survive in a hybrid. It's important.
That's a good point.
Okay, so I think we have time to answer one more. And if you could only read one book in your entire life, what book would it be? I need to confess that I don't have a good memory, so if I read something, I will forget everything about. But I think a comic book would be good. What about you, Priscilla?
Hard question. I think Harry Potter. I like so much. Sorry. Sorry, guys. How about you, Epaminondas?
I don't know. I think that como fazer amigos e influenciar pessoas. I think it's a very important ability.
Carnegie Hall. Carnegie Hall, I
Yeah,
think is
yeah.
the other. Yeah, I read a
And
long
you?
time ago.
And you, Jefferson?
No, what? I really don't know because I have a lot of books to read. I have just one. It's impossible. It's impossible to resume just one book. I have a lot of books. I really don't know. I don't know this answer. And you, Mariana.
I think I will want some book of self-knowledge because I think it's important, and every time we read, we have a different interpretation, or we will forget something. Yeah.
Bruna, Ulysses, how about you?
I have no idea. I'm sorry, I was trying to think, but this point Priscilla brought, it's important. Like, that will be a good idea, you know, maybe it could help, but I don't know. What about you, Ulysses?
Oh, me neither. I don't know. I need stud. Because only one book, it's impossible. I don't know, just me.
Okay.
I skip this question.
So Epaminondas, tell me about how. Could you hear me? Yeah. Okay, so Epaminondas, tell me about your first time here. How was your experience? Did you like it?
Yeah, I like it. So it's a safe place to speak, and it's so cool. I think that I will be here another times, certainly.
Okay, so thank you. Thank you for the conversation. I hope you really like it. And I will share with you the link of our YouTube video. So please give us a like. And I hope I will see you in the next meeting. Bye, guys.
See you soon.
Take care.